Hello and welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Today we're going to be looking at Newcastle United taking on Leicester City. Leicester are doing very well this season and will be looking at gaining another 3 points today in their game against Newcastle, and could be really trying to chase down the top two at the minute. With a win, they would go 1 point behind both Manchester United and Liverpool. So hopefully that will be a good game. Ellis, thank you so much for tuning in. And Ollie, thank you very much for tuning in as well. Thank you very much both for joining the stream. I really do appreciate it. Let me know if the music's too loud or too quiet. But let me know on that one. Yeah, we will go through the team lineups. We'll just before we do that, we'll go over the games yesterday. So the game I covered was in the morning between Tottenham and Leicester, and that finished Tottenham and Leeds rather, and that finished 3-0 to Spurs, who have gone third with that victory. And then the game at 3 o'clock was Palace versus Sheffield United. Sheffield United have only gained 2 points so far this season and are yet to claim a win, obviously, because they haven't even got 3 points. It was a formality really that Crystal Palace would get the victory, and that is what they did on 22 points now after that 3 points. After some really bad results for Crystal Palace, they've got back to winning ways. 5:30, we had probably the game of the day in terms of action. Brighton and Wolves played out a 3-3 draw, with Wolves being 3-1 up, I think, at one point. So a great comeback by Brighton, who I'm quite concerned about, really, if I'm being honest. Carlos, thank you so much for tuning in as well. Just right for the sound, thank you so much. Come on, you Spurs, says Ollie. I think that's tuning. Boys, I really do appreciate it. Right, and then the game in the evening at 8 o'clock kickoff, I think, was West Brom taking on Arsenal, and it was a comfortable 4-0 victory for Arsenal. Tierney, Saka scoring in the first half, and then 2 goals from Alexandre Lacazette made it 4-0 to the Gunners, which is a good result for them. Moves them up to 11th with 3 wins on the bounce now. They can start looking, and they're only 3 points behind Chelsea, who are in 6th. Obviously, they have a long way to go in terms of the goal difference, but that goes to show how quickly they're catching up with size. Obviously, Chelsea play later. 4-0 to the Gunners. Yeah, a good win for Arsenal on that occasion. I'm just going to move my things about so I have a bit more room. That's better. I will keep up to date with any other games that are taking place as well during the stream. Just have a look if there are any games taking place around this sort of time. Doesn't look like it. There's a game at 2:30, which will be Dortmund versus Wolfsburg in the Bundesliga. So that is one to remain. There is also a bunch of games taking place in Serie A as well. We can keep an eye on as well. My score prediction is Leicester 3, Newcastle 1. Yeah, I'm expecting a Leicester win as well. I'm going to expect it to be tight though. I'm going to go just a 1 goal to Leicester City. So 1-0 to Leicester is the score I'm going for in that one. So I'm hoping for a victory there. I wonder if my tweet went out. Yeah, my tweet did go out. So we'll go through the team lineups now. When you're streaming next, I might do one on Wednesday night. I might just do a stream on Wednesday night. So the team lineups are as follows. The team for Newcastle: Darlow is in goal. Yedlin, Fernandez, Cher, Clark, and Ritchie. Joelinton, Longstaff, and Longstaff. Alex, thank you so much for tuning in as well. Almiron and Wilson. The team for Leicester: Schmeichel, Justin, Fofana, Evans, Castagna, Ndidi, Tielemans, Albrighton, Maddison, Barnes and Vardy. The bench for both sides: Carroll, Dubravka, Dammit, Gale, Hendrick, Kraft, Manquillo, Murphy and Shelvey. The team on the bench for Leicester. 2-1 Leicester, says Alex. Yeah, I've gone for a 1-0 win to Leicester, so I'm going for a Leicester win as well. So far, we've had only predictions of Leicester wins. Amati, Iniacho, Mendy, Perez, Pratt, Soyuncu, Luke Thomas, Under, and Danny Ward as well, who hasn't really featured much, has he, since he moved from Liverpool. You have to credit to Man United. They started the season at 15th. Now they are on the same points as Liverpool. Yeah, they've done really well. They've really well. I don't want them to win the league, but they've done well. They've done well. And that's great to see for them, for sure. Well done to them. Yeah, it's nice to see them coming up the table. But yeah, Swans, thank you very much for tuning in. Toby, how are you? Good win for the Swans, wasn't it, yesterday? I did keep an eye on it because obviously you were chatting about it yesterday in the stream, so I did keep an eye on it today. Sorry, I was reading a message from my sister. Hey Mike, we are going up. Yeah, you seem to be quite confident of that. Only problem is we have 2 centre backs injured. That's not good. Swansea's goal scorer went over to Foster's GoPro and Celera. I did see that. Happened. I did see that. That was a. I know because he does that for his YouTube channel. Is that right? I shouldn't have accepted that. That might get me the monetized. Don't worry about Man United winning the league. Tottenham are there. Biggest. Yeah, I did hear about that. I was very surprised. I've never watched any Ben Foster. Callum, thanks so much for tuning in as well. I really do appreciate it. Torino have just gone 1-0 ahead in their game. Wilfred Singo with the goal. Can't wait to watch that. I'm sure it'll be good. I'd imagine he's like, oh no, but deep down he's like, oh, I'll get me a lot of views. A lot of people will want to see his reaction to that and stuff, which is good for him. There we are. Yeah, it should be good. I will have to. Maybe I'll subscribe to him now. I know this video is going to play straight away. Oh, it's on mute anyway. Oh, alright. I didn't. Nice. Gets a few more views than I do. It's good to see that he's like doing something a little bit outside the box because you know he's not going to be a footballer forever. Obviously, I don't think he's not going to be screamed down for punditry work. I don't think, unless he's very, very clever. But because of this, he might A, have something else he can do, or B, be able to do something else. Yeah, Overfemi Martin's probably quite old now. I've got Pepsi again for my drink today. Got it from Tesco earlier. Yeah. Because I only have one drink a day of a fizzy drink, so I just have whatever we have in the house unless I'm particularly going somewhere. So yeah, that's what I had. Been waiting for 2 years for it. I've been waiting for years, but it's never going to happen, I don't think. Buffon, he's 42. Yeah, but a goalkeeper's a little bit less mobile. Don't have to run round. And if someone like Martins, who's very, very quick. Liverpool versus Man United, 17th massive game coming up after the Monday game for Liverpool. Yeah, it is a really, really big game. Really big game. Game I'm looking forward to. Game I will be watching with interest. Hoping for a good game in that one.
We won't need Obafemi unless AU is leaving. Yeah, IU even. Right, yeah. Like I say, I don't think that's a move I'd be making, but obviously I trust Cooper to be able to. You've got a bit more knowledge than me in sport, so. But it's not somebody I'd particularly want to sign. There's some missing players for both sides. Lascelles is ill. He seems to have long COVID at the moment. St. Maximin is injured. Isaac Hayden is suspended. And Fraser is injured. Pereira is injured for Leicester. Unless I'll probably sit on the bench because it's awful. Yeah, I just, like I said, I don't think that's a very good move. Did you hear about Kieran Trippier? Yeah, the betting thing. Yeah, I did see that. It's not a very, very nice for him, is it? But at the end of the day, if you break the rules, which he has done, he needs to pay the consequences for that, doesn't he? Just waiting for the starting. There we are. The knee is taking place before we start. It's Brendan Rodgers in the background. There we are. There we are. Game is underway. Absolutely shocking. Yeah, it is crazy that it happened at Hereford. There was a player who was gambling while playing. However, he didn't gamble on any of the games he was actually playing in, because that opens another can of worms, which is not good. But yeah, it's on Sky. Yeah, it's on Sky Sports Premier League and main event. Main event's got the fake crowd noise. After lunch, having toad in the hole. Nice. Hopefully you enjoy it, dude. Got to find about 500,000. That's so much. That's so much. So much. Even for like, you know, somebody that like worked just a normal job, you know, that's like getting fined like, that's still a lot of money, isn't it? Like not what I mean is like money over like how much it comes. How do you feel about Pochettino has gone to PSG? Yeah, I'm really pleased for him. I like Pochettino. He seems quite a nice person, which is nice. I want him to do well. I want him to succeed. He will win trophies at PSG unless something goes wrong massively. He's a former PSG player, so it would be nice to see him finally start winning trophies and become, you know, a top manager there, and maybe move on to somewhere like Real Madrid. I don't think I've watched a full game on my TV from months before that. I used to watch games on my TV. Yeah, I don't watch as much football now as I did, just because I work and then Kelly works as well, and she has uni. So the time we have, I don't want to just be sat watching football. If that makes sense. But sometimes she wants to go downstairs and just. So if it's not on Amazon, I won't be able to watch it, which is quite annoying. But no, I want to spend time with her, and if we, you know, it's not fun for her if we just sit and watch West Brom versus Burnley. Some people actually said he will go to Arsenal. No, he wouldn't go to Arsenal. He's better than Arsenal. He's better than Arsenal. But will many league ones can't see them win the Champions League. Well, there's a sort of an interesting caveat to that, because they got to the final. Oh, shot from Maddison wide of the mark. He got Tottenham, a very average Tottenham side, to the final of the Champions League. If he'd had the players that he has at the disposal at PSG, he'd have probably gone that step further and maybe even won it. So, you know, if he can get Tottenham to the final, I'm sure he could do something of note with PSG. Although winning it is going to be tough. Lazio have gone 1-0 up in their game against Genoa. Immobile with the goal on from the penalty spot. After 15 minutes, Atalanta are 1-0 ahead in their game against Sassuolo. Pochettino will definitely buy Dele Alli. No playing time for Spurs and plays awfully. well, it'd be good for him to play there. And it'd also be good to see more English players going abroad. Like we've seen Trippier go abroad, Sancho's abroad, and Bellingham is abroad. Obviously, those two I just mentioned are quite young, but Dele Alli's sort of not young anymore. Really, he's becoming like an experienced player in the Premier League now because he's been there for years and years. So it'd be good to see him go abroad and try something new, for sure. I can see Mbappe leaving PSG. He might do. But if they did sell him, they'd be able to get quite a lot of money unless his contract's up. Arsenal are lucky that West Brom and Sheffield United are in the Prem. Not really, because they'd still be above the parapet if those two sides weren't in the league, wouldn't they? Lacazette and Saka keeping Arsenal in the Premier League. Yeah, they're looking a lot better since they brought in Saka and they brought in Smith Rowe, haven't they? And they've changed it up a little bit and they're doing really well. I thought Tierney played quite well last night from what I saw of it. I really like Tierney. So they played really well and they played some really nice football. I think it was the Saka goal. The second goal was really, really good. And the finish from Tierney was also a very nice finish as well. But I don't think they would be in the relegation zone, would they? No, it would be Fulham, Brighton and Burnley. Even if you took out Fulham, it wouldn't be them. You'd have to take out about half the league to get them in the relegation zone. They're performing a lot better, and I didn't think it was the right move to sack Arteta. But what I did say was, if you do keep him, which they have done, they should try and keep him by giving him players in the January transfer window and trying to make things better. But he can get good stuff out of these young players. It's just motivating the other players. Leeds are like look at how bad Willian has been since he joined Arsenal. Who's a Premier League professional, should be able to do a lot better. Leeds are so inconsistent. 1 week battering for teams 5-0, then losing 5-0. When did they lose 5-0? Definitely no Champions League football for Arsenal. Well, I don't think that's going to happen. Definitely not. And Tottenham should get Champions League right. What did I say? I said it would be... I had this question yesterday. I said Liverpool, Man United, Man City, and then I think I did say Tottenham as the fourth team. I just don't see Leicester stay in the course. No disrespect to Leicester, I just don't see that happening. I don't see Everton staying the course. I still think Chelsea need work. City should improve. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Here is Vardy. Brighton, he loses the ball and Longstaff will get it away. Chelsea will get fifth. But is that what for Lampard then? If he finishes in the top four and then doesn't finish in the top four, and with the outspending outlay that they've spent, that could be bad news for Lampard. I think they'd stick with him, but I think it would be a monkey on his back, if you know what I mean. Son and Kane, the best Premier League duo in the best duo in the Premier League at the moment. There's no doubt about it. They're absolutely amazing. They're scoring a lot of goals and they're setting each other up and doing everything that you'd want from them too. They're doing everything that you'd want, but it's not ideal, is it? That as I was saying, it's not ideal to call them the best ever, but I don't think that's what Ollie's referring to. I think he's calling them the best in the Premier League at the moment, which is difficult to disagree with. Drogba and Lampard is very, very good. There's people like York and Cole and Rooney and Ronaldo. Aguero and David Silva would be another one, and Thierry Henry and Bergkamp, definitely the best. Salah and Mane. Yeah, they don't have the same sort of aura as Henry and Bergkamp and York and Cole, and just because I think they'll be appreciated a lot more when they're a bit older, if you know what I mean, and they've retired. I think sometimes we have a little bit of nostalgia. I'm talking about this season. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. Yeah, definitely. Chelsea versus Man City score prediction. I have absolutely no idea, Jaden. I have no idea. I really, really, really don't know. I'm wearing a t-shirt that describes me. Anxious. I think if Arsenal get rid of Arteta, it would add more pressure on Lampard. Arsenal might get a big name, Tuchel, Allegri, who have won trophies and are big names. I wouldn't class Tuchel as a big name. Certainly not in the caliber as someone like Allegri, but I don't think I don't think Allegri would go to Arsenal. I think it's too much of a rebuild. Especially with the owners. Vardy's through! Cut back! Tielemans! Cuts it. Oh, it's out for a goal kick. Should have done better there. Do you think Spurs will win the Carabao Cup? If they meet United in the final, I think they'll win it. If they meet City in the final, I don't think they will. Yeah, should beat Brentford, but I just depends who you get in the final for me. If City are in the final, then they should win it, but just because that's what they do. And if they meet United, though, I think they've got the better of United. Chelsea 2-2, 2-0 Man City, says Jaden. It would be a bad result for Lampard if he was not to get the victory today. If you look at the last 5 games, only one win in those last 5, which was against West Ham. City are unbeaten in their last 5, and they've only lost 2 games. So they need to start playing their start turning those draws into wins, and B, most importantly, start actually winning their games, playing their games even. I think that would be a big difference, because if they'd played all their games, just say they'd won the 2 that they have in hand, they'd be on 32 points, so they would be in 3rd place. Tuchel is overrated. He's done what he expected. 1 league earn. That's easy. When you have Mbappe and Neymar playing for you, he's never won Champions League. We're arguably the best 2 forwards with Mane and Salah, but we've won the Champions League. Like I say, I think he was just an option at the time, and that's all they went with. And you know, he did different things, and he had a big falling out with some of the players, but I think long term, I don't think it was the man for them. And some of the like Pochettino will be a fresh sort of pair of eyes. PSG will never win the Champions League. They're a Chelsea wannabe. People used to say the same about Chelsea, though. Yeah, people used to say the same about Chelsea when I was young, that they'd never win the Champions League, and then they did. Vardy's through. Can he cut it back? He's put it in. The flag's up. VAR. It's in from Vardy, but the flag is up. Maddison gets the ball and plays it forward, and it looks like Vardy is offside. So it won't be a goal. Right. Move on to the Champions League. I'd like to see Brentford win the cup. Yeah, it would be amazing. Frank has done good job since Smith left. He has done a good job. However, he seems to have the personality of a carrot, which doesn't help me in the sort of realm of liking him, because he doesn't seem very interesting at all. He seems really boring. Do you watch AFTV? They do swear, but it's so funny. Yeah, I do sometimes watch AFTV. Did you see it when somebody said that DT compared Emre to Arteta, and then it comes back and they're like, oh, when have I done that? And he threw his phone and he was shouting and stuff. And I just thought, what the hell is going on? Why are you acting like that? I know it's like all entertaining and stuff, and I know they obviously offer something completely different to what I offer. If that makes sense. Like, the people who watch me aren't gonna who choose to watch me every week instead of someone else are choosing me because I'm very, very interactive and talk to the audience a lot. And then somebody that watches Statman Dave, for example, is watching for more analysis than I could ever give, if that makes sense. So I think it's different. And then people are watching AFTV for the entertainment, aren't they? They just sat there waiting for something bad to happen. For me, the best front three right now: Mane, Firmino, Salah, Neymar, Icardi, and Mbappe, Rashford, Martial, and Greenwood. Yeah, I mean, for me, it would have to be the Liverpool front three. Anfield Agenda or the United stand. I prefer the United stand. I think it's all an act, isn't it? I think he's actually quite a nice person if you met him. I don't know because I've never met him, but I feel like if I met him, he'd be quite just a normal person. So I feel like there's some people on football YouTube who would not be the nicest person to sit down and have a chat with. Like, there's certain people on certain shows I think, I wouldn't. If I had a big podcast or something and I invited people on, I'm not sure I'd want to invite you on because I feel like we disagree. But I can leave you to imagination to know who that is. I laughed my head off. Or Gnabry, Sane, and Lewandowski. Sane isn't doing very well though, is he? It's in Bayern Munich at the moment. Hey, just got here. Hi Jay, thank you much for tuning in. I heard Vardy scored with VAR cancel it. Yes, they did. He was offside, and like offside to the point where they didn't need the lines. Have you seen when Mark Goldbridge called DT when Arsenal were losing? I'd not seen that, but I saw when they fell out over the thing on that football game. He seems a bit of a hothead, doesn't he? Pulisic, Werner, and Ziyech is the worst. He signed all these players. I did say I didn't. There was people being like, "Oh, do you reckon they'll win the title?" When we first started the season, and I was like, "No, they won't win the title because there's too many players to implement, and I don't think Lampard's good enough to overcome someone like Klopp. So I do not fancy. I didn't fancy Chelsea then, and I don't fancy Chelsea now to win the league. I think it was when they were 3-0 down to Villa. I see, and I don't want to talk about AFTV too much, but I see that they were like their watch-along yesterday was online, and I think it was the same with the Brighton game. So instead of having them all in that small area, so I thought that was quite interesting because they are in tier 4, so they should really be working from home. Yeah, DT is tested positive. I did see that on Twitter, and I think Robbie's self-isolating as well, isn't he? Because they do a podcast together, if I'm not mistaken. Leicester 2-0, Man City 2, Chelsea 1. I've gone for Leicester to win 1-0, and Man City, I think I'm really struggling with this game because they've got so many. It'd be interesting to see what the lineups are, but for me, I feel like City are obviously the better side, but they have got a few players out due to COVID. I assume Benjamin Mendy is going to be nowhere near the situation. I'm not sure if he's tested positive or he's just in trouble, but I feel like Mendy has been one of the worst signings in a long time because Mendy was constantly injured, and if he isn't injured, he's doing stupid things. And do you know what I mean? And he's not worth 50 million. It's a ridiculous amount of money they paid for him. They'd have been better off signing Ben Chilwell. He had Lynn's ball in. It's going to come back to him. So yeah, I think Ben Mendy is one of the worst signings Man City have made. He's up there with. You knew that when he signed that it'd go pear shaped. because he's a character. He seems a very pleasant person, but he does stupid things. If you can invent the best 11 in the world, who would be in it? I don't know. I'd have Alisson in goal. I think Alisson's the best goalkeeper in the world. Although Oblak is very, very good. I like. Leicester have not to score from a set piece this season. We're only in January. It's hard because there's so many. It depends on like things like formations and stuff. And Ramos is the best defender. Hi, Christian. Thanks for tuning in. I really like Ramos as well. I am a sucker for somebody who plays dirty. You know, I was talking about Scott Brown yesterday, who plays for Celtic, and I was like, I really like Scott Brown. But I feel like if I was a Rangers fan, I would absolutely despise Scott Brown. Like someone like Roy Keane. I hate Roy Keane. I grew up hating Roy Keane because I hate Manchester United. However, if I was a Manchester United supporter, I'd absolutely love Roy Keane. I'd love Roy Keane. But not for me. If you haven't already, feel free to hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. And subscribe if you're new. Most people hate Ramos. Yeah, most people hate Ramos because of how he plays. And in fact, he's obviously very successful as well. But there's a million ways to win a football match. Do you know what I mean? Diego Costa is going to offer you something completely different than what Firmino will offer. That doesn't make Diego Costa's way of playing football wrong or bad. It just means he's going to wind people up. And how many times have we seen that be successful, especially against Arsenal? Liverpool versus Man United score prediction. It's early days, but I think Liverpool will win the league and will win that game. I hate Gary Neville. I like Gary Neville. You think Celtic can still win the league? No, Celtic will not win the league. Rangers will win the league. If Celtic win the league, Neil Lennon needs 90. Costa is apparently going to Wolves. He'd be a very, very good move, wouldn't he? You know, like I say, there's a million ways to win a football match, and it doesn't necessarily mean Diego Costa's way of winning a football match is wrong. It's not to everyone's cup of tea. It's not to everyone's taste. There is a corner kick here for a free kick. Matt Ritchie standing over it for Newcastle United. In it comes. Headed away. And they'll get it away through Barnes. Oh, and here's Tielemans, and they're bringing it away. Oh, that's a good challenge. Yeah, good challenge by Fernandes. But no, Celtic will not win the league. They're out of it. There's no way. If that was happening in England, no way. And I think even if they were level, I wouldn't fancy them. If they were level, I probably would fancy them. That's wrong. But even if the points gap was less, I still wouldn't fancy them because of how they're dropping points and stuff. But for me, they're never going to win it because they're not even in good form. And Rangers are blowing them away. It's like last season. The only thing is, right, last season Liverpool hadn't won a league for, was it 30 years? And they won the title and there's no bugger there to see it. No one there to see it besides like the media and a few people who worked there who needed to be there. And that's just how it is, right? Rangers, who haven't won a title for 9 years, are now going to win one, and there might not be anyone there to see them lift the trophy, which is very, very sad. It's interesting how it happened. And another weird example of this happening, Leeds hadn't gone up for God knows how long. They got relegated in 2004, which makes it about 16 years, and they get promoted. No one there to see it. Sorry, morning, Mike. Sorry, I'm late. Just woke up. Thank you for joining, Stephen. How you doing? Man City 6, Chelsea 0. I don't think it'll be that. I remember when I think it was 2017. I seem to remember it being about November or something. They played each other, Chelsea at home to City, and De Bruyne scored the only goal of the game. He went in, it was a nice finish. Went through a few players and hit it into the corner of the net, around sort of halfway up the net. And he scored that and they won 1-0, and everyone was like, this is the game. This is the game that changes it. City are going to win the league. And I really enjoyed that game. And I don't think City have won since. They always struggle against Chelsea. Robert James is such a controversial referee. He had a poor game at Leeds versus Burnley. The thing is, are there some bad referees? Yes, and this is something that I talk about all the time. They are only doing their job, right? If I'm told at work to substitute, like I work at Tesco, obviously, as you know. If I'm at work and I'm told to start, I don't know, doing something that I disagree with, i.e. VAR, then I would start doing that. Even if I don't want to do that, I will stick to the rules that are given. I don't want to bag loads of stuff in plastic when I could just put it into something that doesn't contain plastic. However, that's the rule, so that's what I do. You know, Kelly works at, obviously some of you know where Kelly works, and sometimes she has to sell a leather phone case, and she doesn't want to sell a leather phone case, but she does, because she can't just be like, oh, I'm not selling that to you. That's ridiculous. So what I'm trying to get at is, it might not be just the referee, it might be the rules that are in place, and all they're doing is enforcing the rules, which is not up to them, isn't it? And I think that's what people forget about referees, is they're just enforcing the rules, and maybe it's not the referees that are the problem, it's the rules that need adjusting. Do you think Juventus will win the Serie A? I will have a look at the league, because they're not top, are they? If I'm not mistaken, they're struggling a little bit. So Inter Milan won 6-2 today against Crotone. I think Inter Milan will win it. Yeah, there we are. I think they will win it. Doing okay, I guess. That's good. Stephen, to all the fans went to every single game and have a season ticket every year. Must be very weird for them. Yeah, it is. It must be extremely weird. However, it's something that is unforeseen and will not be a thing. Hopefully, by next season. Hopefully next season we have a nice, lovely full stadiums. But until then, we just need to stay at home and stuff. I remember when I had a season ticket, and there's one season I didn't have a season ticket. It's a long story that we really don't need to get into. But I used to have a season ticket every season, and one season I just fell out of love with football a little bit, so I stopped going. It's a long story, but like I say, it is weird, but I just didn't feel up to going, which is different. So yeah, I think Inter Milan are in a good place. Do you think Kane will go to Man City? I see that. Then they want, was it 83? Did they bid, or was it something like 100 million euros or pounds? That's not enough. That's not enough for Harry Kane. There's no way they'd accept that. The only way they'd accept that really is if Kane wanted to force his way out, and there's no way Kane is going to force his way out, because if Kane forces his way out, that just goes against everything he's ever said about Tottenham. However, I feel like if they continue to offer a good amount of money, they should probably let Kane go. It's all about, we've seen Tottenham lose Bale, and they spent the money, and they spent it horrendously, which is something that could happen again if they were to do that. 135 million. If I was them, I'd try and get a little bit more for him. But it depends. It depends, doesn't it, on what Mourinho wants to do. But obviously, they're thinking he's the guy. He's the replacement for Aguero. Do you support Man City? Man City are my favourite Premier League team. Is how I would describe them. My dream lineup after Mane, Firmino and Salah is Mbappe, Haaland and Sancho. That sounds expensive. I think Sancho is overrated. It certainly does look that this season. What does blue heart mean? I don't know. I don't know what blue heart means. I never put a blue heart in, did I? Hi, Mike. Hi, Samin. Thank you for joining the stream. How you doing? I really do appreciate it. Ollie, thank you for tuning back in. Or not Ollie. Rather, Toby, thank you for tuning back in. Mike, who is your favourite football team? So I support a team called Hereford, who play in the National League North. They're not the best. But they're my local team when I was a kid. And I used to go and watch them with my dad. But now he can't, because he lives in Wales and I live in Devon. So yeah, and then but my favourite Premier League team is Manchester City. Hi Mike, I said hello to Samin. Newcastle are bad. Hi Sunderland till I die. I think that's tuning in. Hey, I'm back. Riyadh. Yeah, Riyadh. I ain't got to tune in. Hey, Liverpool is the best, bro. I'm good. Means you care about someone. I didn't hide your messages, but yes, Liverpool have played really bad. How was your day today? My day is good. How are you? Why City? So the reason I support City, I get asked this quite a lot. So the reason I like City the most is one of my granddads supported them, and my dad, who doesn't support City, absolutely hates Manchester United. So that sort of just went from there. But yeah, good away draw for Hereford. I was pleased, Stephen. I was really, really pleased because obviously Kitty are going well, and we got a win against them on Boxing Day, and then yesterday we got a draw against them. So 4 points from those two games is brilliant, coinciding, like sandwiched in between a result against Leamington where we drew 0-0. Picking up a little bit. Might still time to support the Reds. My mum supports Liverpool. Interesting fact about my mum. She's sometimes in the streams. If you're watching, Mum, hi. She's not in the stream, but yeah, I'm happy for her. Oh, I'm really pleased. Still time to support the Whites. I just don't see that. I just don't see the connection there. You know, it's well out my way. Who do you think will win this game? I've gone 1-0 to Leicester, Riyadh, and I tell you why. I think they will have enough in the tank just to get enough, but just to get that edge and just to get that victory. However, they are quite solid, aren't they, Newcastle? So that's my thinking there, and they would actually go just 1 point behind the front two. I think Brendan Rodgers is actually a really, really good manager. Why don't you support Liverpool? She's not like massively into Liverpool. Like, do you know what I mean? She just liked them when she was a kid. So yeah. But I like football because of my dad, so that's why I support the same team as him. Your dad lives in Wales, there's a connection. But he lives in, is it Cardiganshire, is it called? I think he lives in Cardiganshire, which I like, mid Wales. Who do you think will win this game? Why don't you support Liverpool? I've already answered that one. Still time to support the Whites, so that's that one. I had family from near Newport. I used to go to Newport and change when I used to go to West-Supermare on holiday when I lived at home. Got a connection with every little place. Never been to Rodney Parade. Anyway, back to the game. Tielemans is a good player, isn't he? He's a really, really good player. They got some really good players. But coming back to Brendan Rodgers, he did well at Liverpool. He got the best out of that Liverpool team. He got the best out of them. And he got them to runners up. Should have probably won the league that year. You know, what he did there was brilliant. He went to Celtic and he destroyed the Scottish League, constantly winning. You know, he had that season unbeaten as well. He's come to Leicester, sorted their problems out in their first season after Claude Puel, and then has finished. He finished just outside the top four, didn't they? And should have probably got top four. If it wasn't for that break, they might have, to be fair. And then once again, they're in and around the sort of top four again. If they got finished top four, I think he's done a fantastic job. He's a really underrated manager, and he could probably do a job in the top four for someone. Probably not like Liverpool or City, but he could do a job for Chelsea. And I know they turned their nose at him. And he'd have done a brilliant job at Arsenal as well. And I know they turned their nose down at him, but evidence says he's a good manager. Rodgers is a good manager. Tottenham will 1,000% win the Europa League. I think it would be brilliant for them to win the Europa League. What I wouldn't want to do is to chuck the league to finish like 8th or something and win the Europa League. But if they were to get any trophy this season, Ollie, it would really make a massive difference to Mourinho, because they'd be like, Mourinho's, he's fine. But if they won a trophy, it would then galvanise the team a lot more, if that makes sense. Roma and Sampdoria are 0-0 at half time, and Fiorentina and Bologna are 0-0. Atalanta are 2-0 up against Sassuolo. Harry Kane and Son are a good duo. Yeah, they are a really, really good duo, and two players I really, really like. I really like Harry Kane. I really like Son as well. Both are very, 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 very successful this season, scoring a lot of goals and assisting each other, and it's nice to see a good partnership. I don't think we've seen like a duo like that. Obviously, we have the front three at Liverpool, but they're more of a trio. But yeah, very, very good. Rodgers is one of my favourites personally. Yeah, he did really well at Swansea as well. I totally forgot about that. 30 minutes in, Newcastle 2 shots, Leicester 1 shot. Not as good as I thought it would be so far, but as long as you're trying to chat, that's all that matters. That's what I do anyway. Yedlin loses the ball. Johnny Evans is bringing it out. Indeedy. Dilly-dally in with the ball. Cagliari and Napoli is 0-0. Genoa and Lazio is 1-0 to Lazio. Napoli are 1-0 up rather, and Parma are 0, Torino 1. Used to manage Watford, I think. Yeah, I think he did. Not so successful there. Although that's not the first one. I think Sean Dyche was in charge of Watford as well. Harry Kane's been assisting a lot more than Trent and Robertson. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing. Say what you want about Mourinho, but he's got a different side of Kane out, which is incredible. He's getting the best out of him anyway. He's turning him to a striker that I didn't realise he was. Jamal Lowe and Andre Ayew are a good partnership. Now, mistake me if I'm wrong, but did Jamal Lowe come from Portsmouth? Or am I totally wrong? I'm getting confused. If you haven't already and you're enjoying the video, feel free to hit the subscribe button. I really like it. We are on the way to 4,870 subscribers. Wigan. I don't know why I said Portsmouth. I don't know why I said Portsmouth. Oh, he was at Portsmouth 2017 to 2019 and then moved to Wigan for a season before joining Swansea. So, yeah, there we are. That's the confusion. It's annoying to play for a club because of stupid corona we can't play. It's sometimes there's things a bit bigger than football, unfortunately. That COVID is one of those things. However, hopefully you can get back playing again. We're in tier 3 here, down here in the southwest, but I know we are the minority. Tier 4 is most of the country. He used to be a PE teacher, yeah, because he came through like the non-league, didn't he? Done well for himself, really well for himself. I did sub and put the notifications on so I don't miss your videos. Thank you so much, Riyadh. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I am tier 4. Yeah, I'm tier 3. My hometown is also tier 3. Chris, thanks so much for joining the stream. How you doing? Thanks for joining the stream. How you doing? PE teacher to Barnet to Portsmouth to Wigan to us. It's good, isn't it? I'm tier 4 and it's sad. Tier 5 might be coming. It might certainly be coming as well. I mean, it's just got to be like March start lockdown, hasn't it? Happy New Year to you, Ollie, as well. I really do appreciate you saying that. What did I do for New Year? Not a lot. My whole country is tier 4. Yes! Yes, it is. I almost moved to Wales. The tears are giving me tears. I'm good, thanks. Got out top of league after a 2-0 win yesterday. I was pleased, Chris. I was pleased. I'm not afraid to admit that I was expecting you to struggle this season. And I saw on obviously following on Twitter, you're always like upbeat about him, and I was like, I think they'll really struggle. But you've proved me wrong. Top of the league. Crawley Town are having a good season, aren't they? And Morecambe. Morecambe are always down there. Morecambe, considering how well they've done. Alright, Ria, thank you so much for tuning in and subscribing. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you again. Welsh government, awful. I don't understand. They're turning into what we're going to be doing, which is just constant lockdowns. I'm shocked by Morecambe. It's great to see. Great to see. Morecambe came up, if I'm not mistaken, in about 2007, which means they've been in the league for 13 years, which is brilliant. He just seems to... It's bad. I don't know what it's like in Swansea, but I know it's bad in Merthyr and Cardiff area. Merthyr Tydfil's, I think, is the worst in the UK in terms of R rate, infection rate. Here is Barnes. Castagna's ball in. And it's behind for a corner kick to Leicester, if I'm not shouting, I'm asleep. Don't fall asleep. Crawley are one of those teams up and down. You don't know what you get from them. I was just expecting, because they had a lot of money behind them, didn't they? And they signed people like Matt Tubbs and Ben Smith and Sergio Torres, and they got promoted. That's when they had Matt Tubbs, and then they brought in people like Tyrone Barnett and people like that, and then they got promoted again, if I'm not mistaken. And then they come down, and I think the investment's gone, and they're just in League Two now, which is great. It's great to see a team who have come up and sustain themselves, regardless. As far as I know, they're not spending big as they were, but eventually they'll come back down. It's always a bit of a worry, because if you take over a non-league club, just say you take over a team playing in the 8th tier, and then your aims. Like Stretford, they're playing in the 8th tier. You take over them. The aim is to get into the Football League, right? That was the aim of Andy Philly, who was at or Pilly, who is at Fleetwood. It's the same aim as the people at Salford. Dale Vince, his aim is to get into the Football League, although they were a little bit higher, so he could be aiming a little bit higher. But once you get into the Football League, it sort of just stagnates a little bit, because there's a ceiling for these little clubs to go. Who really have no heritage in the Football League. It's why you're better off taking over a team with big sort of fan base, like something like Dulwich Hamlet maybe, or Maidstone get quite good attendances. But yeah. Anyway, coming back to the thing, Crawley playing Leeds next. It's that in the Cup. It is so disappointing to hear about Reguilon, Lamela and Lo Celso. It's not surprising though, is it? It's not surprising. The people who seem to be breaking the rules are the super rich, and then the sort of the people you expect to break the rules. Like I see people on Facebook, and I'm like, oh yes, I expect you to break the rules. It sets a bad example, doesn't it? It really does. Almiron is just on the floor now after being booted in the face with the ball. Bet that hurt his face. If you haven't already, I'd love a like on the video and subscribe if you are new as well. I'd really appreciate it. Panathinaikos have drawn 0-0 in their game. And Athletic Bilbao are 1-0 up. And that's a full time against Elche. So they've won their game. Ike Amunyan with the goal, who I thought would be a really, really good player. Started the season, I picked 7th for Carlisle, and then to win the playoffs. I always stay positive about my teams in terms of season predictions. That's something I do. I was expecting us to really struggle this season. I would still take about mid-table. I think that'd be a really good season for us. But yeah, it's really good, Chris. Really good. What football? You say you always stay positive, and then things go wrong, and you're like, oh no. What footballer would you like to see in the Premier League that never has before? It's got to be Messi, right? Got to see Messi. When I found out the City were interested in him, I thought I want to go to the Etihad again just to see him. And that's something that my girlfriend talks about moving to London when she's finished, and that's something that I'd like to do, and I might be able to see some better players than I've been seeing at Hereford. Not seen many good players at Hereford. But yeah, I'd like to see Messi. I'd like to see something like Magpie as well. That would be good as well. Did you hear about Quincy Promes? No, I did not. See 3 people watching. Thank you so much for everyone who's tuned in so far. This game has been rather drab, hasn't it? Here's Tielemans. Tielemans out wide to James Justin, who signed from Luton, who's having a very good season. And corner kick to Leicester. Albrighton putting the ball in, who is a league winner, isn't he? He won the league while he was there, as did just Vardy in the starting lineup. And Schmeichel, obviously, he's gone to prison 20 years for murder. Jesus. Oh God. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Good God, that's not good, is it? Maddison's ball in. And it comes all the way to Tielemans, who shot his way over the bar. That's not good at all. Not good at all. Carlisle would have been clear at the top if they'd have beaten teams they should be beating, like Oldham, Scunthorpe and Grimsby, gifted them points like a Galaxy chocolate bar. The thing is, Chris, you can't expect to win every game. Like, we had some weird results when we got promoted from League 2. We lost 3-0 at home to Morecambe. We went to Chesterfield and lost 4-0, but we did eventually get over the line. That's what you've got to think about. You've got to think about the long term. Long term, you need to try and get out of it and go up, obviously, but you will have these weird and wacky results. But the thing that got Hereford promoted, I'm not sure what this is like with you, is I think we took the lead in like 20 like something of the games. I think it was like 22 games we took the lead first. 21 wins, 1 draw, 0 defeats. That is why we got promoted. So that's something that is it takes it really the boys against men. You sort of get it cuts the good from the bad. If you can have a record like that, that's what got Hereford promoted. I really think much tune in. How you doing? Well, I didn't know that about Promise. Such a quality player in Europe. Yeah, I read it was something to do with an incident. It's beggars belief. Some footballers are crazy. It does make you wonder what some football players would be doing if they weren't footballers, especially like the questionable ones. As long as Carlisle keep this consistency, I'm happy. Definitely, they're doing really well, and there's a lot of sides doing well. And Leicester would be an example of a team really doing much better than I was expecting. Carlisle being another one. I was expecting Crawley or Morecambe to be in there. If we go into League One, there's more. Doncaster are having a very, very good season. Accrington are flying. They're in 8th place, but they've got up to 4 games in hand over some teams. They could be top. So that's really, really, really positive. I was expecting Reading to struggle, and they're having a great season. I was expecting Wickham to go down, and they're doing as expected. And I expected Aston Villa to struggle. And they're having a great season as well, which is always great to see. Go on, Newcastle, do Tottenham a favour and yourselves and win. Thank you much for tuning in, dude. How you doing? Liverpool win league, Carlisle get promoted. Would you rather Carlisle got promoted, or would you rather Liverpool won the league? Here is Sean Longstaff. He goes back to the goalkeeper there, and we have 4 added minutes of the first half. Hey there, Mike Talks Football. Thanks, dude. Thanks for saying hello. Just messaging my girlfriend back just for this work. Orion Marley, thank you much for tuning in. Thoughts on Arsenal this season? Where are you thinking they'll finish? I got asked this question yesterday, so I'm going to stick with the same answer. I think Arsenal will improve and will finish just outside. I said about between like 7th and 9th, 8th and 9th. I was thinking, which I think, considering their start to the season, I think wouldn't be too bad. But yeah, I'm not expecting massive things, unfortunately, for Arsenal. However, it's not like I hate Arsenal, because I want Arsenal to do really well. I'd love to see them doing well under Arteta, because I really like Arteta. But it would be wrong of me to not give my opinion, if you know what I mean. Carlisle getting promotion. That's exactly what I would choose as well. I can't believe how bad Sheffield United are doing. Their team is better than 2 points. It's really sad. But what they need to remember is a corner here to Leicester. Maddison to take. Maddison puts the ball in. And it's headed over by Fofana. So yeah, it is really, really bad. However, they need to remember that they shouldn't really be in this league. What Wilder has done is incredible. And that is what they need to remember. He's done really, really, really well. Really, really well. And I would like them to finish on points positive. Somewhat positive. Even like 15 would be good. I'd like to see 15. at least, just so they're not the worst team. Not even if they finish on 16 points. But it's hard to not see that happening. I could see 9 points. I really, really could. I could see 10 points, 8 points. It's hard to see where the next win's going to come from. They are going to win a game. There's no way they're going to go the whole season without winning. That's preposterous. So they are going to win a couple of games at some point. But it's really tough to see where that next win's coming from. Really, really, really sad. The Magpies Indonesian fans. Thank you much for tuning in from Indonesia. I'd like to go to Indonesia one day. Cloud have been in League 2 for too many years. This is the 7th consecutive season in League 2. It's a long time. I remember them being in League 1. Because he got promoted pretty quickly from the Conference to League 1, if I'm not mistaken, Chris. They might beat Derby's record. How do you think Everton would do? Sorry, Max, I missed your question. I would like to see Everton. I don't know. Everton could finish in the top 4 if they got themselves into gear a little bit. However, I don't think that will happen. I think they will finish in the Europa League spots. But that would be an improvement on last season. And then if they improved again, then they could look better. Paul Simpson. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, he did well there. Because I remember Michael Bridges playing, and Matt Glennon was a goalkeeper, if I'm not mistaken. Was that Ian Hart there as well at one point? Might beat West Brom and Fulham. Yeah, they might do. They might do. Obviously, West Brom are struggling as well. Fulham are struggling. Brighton, I'm really worried about no wins in their last 5 games. Just having a quick look at the stats there. Newcastle, I could also see being dragged in. Burnley, I think, will be okay. If I'm not mistaken, Chris, there's a player called Ben Alnwick. It is just half. Oh wait, no, it isn't half time. Ben Alnwick, and he was at Carlisle on loan, and I don't know what happened to him because he's meant to be like the next big thing. I'm sure he's playing for England. He's nowhere. He was playing at Bolton, but yeah, he played on 16, 17, 18, 19, and 21, and everyone really, really rated him highly. And he came on loan in 2008, which is when they were in League One, and then he's not done very well since. Just been playing in the league. I don't know what's happened to him. So half time, it is 0-0 at the break. After Sheffield United play Newcastle next, after that they have Tottenham, Man United, then Man City, then Chelsea after West Brom. It's a tough month for them. Yeah, they need to probably beat Newcastle just to try and gain a little bit of respect. Ben Alnwick, yeah, I thought so. Just shows that these players with potential to be big thing. They were nowhere to be seen. Yeah, some peak early, some peak too late. Just how it is. There was a player I saw called Alphison Santos, and I'm sure Alex, if Alex is still in the chat, he knows what I'm talking about because he was at Derby. I saw him play for the under-18s at Hereford versus Bristol Rovers. He was a cut above. One of the best players I've seen at that level. And I thought this player's got it. He's going to be playing. He's going to be playing in the first team soon. There's no doubt about it. And he did, and he did well. And he moved to Derby. And his career's just fallen off a cliff. I think he played at a Yeovil or something. It's crazy because I thought, oh bloody hell, he's good, but it wasn't. He didn't kick on from there, which is just how it is. If you are still in the chat, I'd love to know who the best young player you saw is. So if you saw a player at a young age and you thought, oh, he's a good player, and who it was and how their career went. I remember seeing Dele Alli quite young. I was really impressed with Damari Gray as well. I thought looks good. Wayne Hennessy I saw play as well, and he was at Stockport on loan, and he kept like 11 clean sheets in a row or something, and it was a record. Looked good. Rooney. My dad saw Rooney play for Everton against Shrewsbury and said the same thing. Did really, really well. I saw Neymar. Obviously, Neymar was like. He hadn't left South America, but I saw Neymar when he was playing at Santos. and he looked very, very good. Very, very good. Very good. Probably one of the best young players I've seen. Jared Bowen, who plays for West Ham, I saw play for Hereford, and he was good. Dara O'Shea is playing at West Brom at the moment. I saw play when he was young, and I thought, oh, bloody hell, he's a good player. Nick Powell looked very, very good as well. Ashley Westwood, another one I saw on the same crew side. But half time at the break, it is 0-0. 60% possession for Leicester, 40% for Newcastle. 2 attempts each on goal. 1 on target for Newcastle, none whatsoever for Leicester. 2 off target for Leicester. 1 block shot for Newcastle. Free kicks, 7 in the favour of Newcastle, 6 in the favour of Leicester. Leicester had 3 corner kicks and 1 offside and 1 save. Fouls 6-4 in the favour of Newcastle. So it's been fairly even. It's not been a very, very good game. It's not even been any yellow cards or anything. It's been poor. But luckily the chat's been alive and kicking, so I can chat to them very, very good. Thank you so much to everyone who has tuned in so far. So you've heard already, what is your prediction for the game taking place later? Chelsea and Manchester City. I need to make a prediction. I'm going to go for City to win. I'll go for Chelsea. I'll go for Chelsea because they seem to have the better of City in these games. So I'm going to go 2-0 Chelsea, which would take Chelsea up to... With like a good enough win, would take them up to 4th. If City win, that would take them also to 4th, depending on how this game goes with Leicester. That first half made watching paint dry feel exciting. It was really, really, really poor. Really poor. It wasn't exciting whatsoever. But hopefully the second half is better. I didn't predict many goals though. I predicted a 1-0 to Leicester, so my prediction is still on. Obviously, everyone's prediction is still on at this point, even if you went 5-0, because no one scored. They are just saying it's a poor game, which I totally agree with. One of my headphones is really, really quiet, and the other's quite really loud. Music's still playing. I was just making sense. Yeah, it is. It has been dreadful. It has been dreadful. Didn't do my stand goal for that last hour, which is annoying. No game in the evening tonight. There is no game on the evening. There's just the 2 games today in the Premier League. That being the Newcastle and Leicester one we're currently talking about, and Chelsea taking on City because Sheffield United. Who was playing earlier? It was Burnley and Fulham, was it today? That's been postponed, and there's no game in the late game. So the next game is Southampton versus Liverpool, which I'm sure will be a classic game. Tottenham and Brentford on Tuesday night in the Carabao Cup semi-final, and the semi-final of the other game is Man City versus Manchester United, and that is taking place on the 6th of January. And then we get into the FA Cup. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do about the FA Cup. I might do like just an average stream. I might do like I've been working on a thing where I can like have all the games like the results coming in and stuff like that. It's something I'm looking at doing. They're struggling to analyse the half. It's been so poor. But it means that the second half can only get better. But I suppose if Leicester won 1-0 and went 1 point behind both teams, then they'd be pleased, wouldn't they? And they'd be like, well, we got the win, so that's all that matters. But it's not, it's not been great. It's not been great at all. And hopefully things can get better in the second half. So yeah, there's not really much to talk about regards to the game. So for me, yeah, I think Chelsea will beat City on the afternoon game, the 4:30 game, and I think Liverpool will go to Southampton tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow, and win probably by like the odd goal as well. I think Liverpool will probably get the win, maybe 1-0, 2-1, something like that, just to be able to get the 3 points. However, it would be good to see them drop points again. I know they've not been doing great in competitions. Late with their 2 draws, and then they had that draw against Fulham before as well. But if they were to drop again, that would really open the door for everyone else as well, because they'd be on 17 points, play with 34. Man City would be on 30. Man City would be on 26 with 2 games to play, or 3 games to play, but they obviously play later. And that would also open the door for Tottenham again, and Manchester United and Leicester, especially if Leicester win the game. Roy Keane and Mika Richards, the best duo. Who'd have thought that? Who'd have thought at the start, like a few years ago, that they would be like 2 pundits that people look forward to seeing? It'd be weird, wouldn't it? I like Roy Keane though, because he says what he thinks. Obviously, that's something that we like in this country, is somebody that's honest. And that's what we want. We want an honest Souness. I'm not sure I like Souness. I don't know what to make of Souness. I feel like he's just a bang average pundit. He's not bad. He's not good. He's not anything. It's just there. I'm not a big fan. No doubt, Roy Keane is the best pundit. I'm not sure he's the best pundit in terms of analysis, but he's one of the most entertaining. So we'll go through the fixtures just as a. Sorry, just messaging Kelly. So, the next Premier League games are not midweek, but the midweek after that. So the 12th of January. Sheffield United versus Newcastle, which has just been talked about. That could be a massive game for Sheffield United if they were to get the 3 points. That would be amazing for them. Burnley versus Manchester United at 8:15, and Wolves versus Everton. That'd be a good game. 8:15 as well on Tuesday. Wednesday, Man City versus Brighton and Hove Albion. Aston Villa versus Tottenham Hotspur. And then Thursday, Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. Friday, Fulham versus Chelsea. And then Saturday, Wolves versus West Brom at 12:30. That will be live on the channel if you are a fan of the Black Country. Or any teams from the Black Country. Leeds versus Brighton. And then West Ham versus Burnley both at 3 o'clock. Aston Villa versus Everton, and Leicester versus Southampton. Sheffield United versus Tottenham. Liverpool versus Manchester United is a game that everyone wants to watch. Man City versus Crystal Palace, and then Monday night there is Arsenal versus Newcastle. And there's more games, so it's going to be an action-packed month for sure. Souness is quite honest, like Keane, and Richards just cheers you up. Yeah, it's nice to see them. It's nice. I know they're not. I know there's like a lot of uproar when they decided to get rid of the people at Soccer Saturday, but it's nice that they're having different people on. Hopefully that's the game we shut United fans up. I think it will be, Chris. I think it will be very, very tough for Manchester United to get the victory at Anfield. But as I said yesterday, if they get the victory at Anfield, then that really means that shows that they mean business, and that means that they are serious about winning the title. Souness is depressing talker. No, need more pundits like Mika. He's different, isn't he? He offers something completely different. He offers a different sort of aura about him, doesn't he? He seems like a kind of person you could talk, like just see in the street, and he'd happy to have a photo taken. I wouldn't want to really bother Roy Keane for a photo. I really wouldn't bother Roy Keane for a photo just because he seems, just doesn't seem the photo type. I'm just going to see what Alfie's knocked down, so I'll be back in a minute. sorry about that. He just knocked down a can. I'd wind up. Just wind up Keane. I probably wouldn't wind him up just because he's probably beat me up. Yeah, I wouldn't do that to Roy Keane. But yeah, he's like I say, he's fun in his own right, isn't he? Oh, hang on, there we are. I opened the wrong screen. So the second half will be underway in the next few moments or minutes. Get your predictions in for the second half. Do you think it'll finish 0-0? Do you reckon there'll be goals either side and it'll end a draw? Do you think Newcastle will get the win, or do you think Leicester will get the win? I'm still going with my 1-0. I still fancy Leicester to get the victory. Atalanta have gone 3 and 4-0 up against Sassuolo in their game. Sorry, my girlfriend's just back, so... So yeah, they're... I wouldn't stop laughing at... Sorry, Kelly's just coming in. Oh, she's just getting the boy. There we are. I wouldn't stop laughing at Keane with all the sense he talks. Genoa have equalised against Lazio. So Halfie's gone now. It's just me and the lamp. My picture of my dog fell. I don't know if it's usually over there, but it's fallen. Yeah, I quite like Keane. So last time these two met, finished 3-0 to Leicester. That was on New Year's Day last year. And then before that, it finished 5-0 to Leicester. So Leicester scored 8 goals without reply in the last 2 games. The last time Newcastle got the victory was April 2019, so nearly 2 years ago now. Doesn't seem that long. And that was... so they win ever so often, but it's been mainly Leicester winning the league, the games. Carlisle have to play Forest Green, Newport, Exeter this month. Big statement if we take points off them. Yes, definitely. All 3 are doing very well. Obviously, I live in Exeter, so I'm hoping they can do well and maybe get a promotion under their belts. They've been close for the last few seasons. One of my work friends, I think he works as a he's like the mascot, like he dresses up for the games. So something that he does. Ellis, thank you much for tuning in. How you doing? Join the stream. I have an obsession of winding people up and unwind them. Well, I hope you never meet me because I'm quite socially awkward, anxious, if you will. Did you see that video when someone took a video of Ryan Giggs? They were at an old bus station or something. No, I don't know what you're referring to. Absolutely no idea. But yeah, thank you much for tuning in. The Newcastle Sky game just sums up the game. Yeah, it's been poor. I'm a big fan. Thanks so much. Swansea, thank you much for tuning back in. How you doing? It's on YouTube. I'll have to look it up after. I have social anxiety, mutism and autism. I don't have mutism, but I have the other 2. Nice though. Nice that you chat here. If you ever do see me, you could always wave if you're too scared. I've woken up and apparently Obafemi is complete. I don't know why you'd want to go to Swansea. Jokes. My stream yesterday had 10,000 views. Thank you much to everyone who tuned in. I really appreciate it. Oh, there we are. Oh, you mean Obafemi? You don't mean Obafemi Martins. You mean the bloke from Swansea, from Southampton? That makes a bit more sense. That's really good to hear, Callum. Really good to hear. Joe's ice cream. I understand. Carlisle 2 games for them. Leyton Orient at home and Mansfield away. Games we're looking to win. Hopefully you can get the win in both of those games. And Napoli have gone 2-1 up in their game. And they're down to 10 men. When I met Ryan Giggs. I'll have to look it up. Where do you live? I live in Devon. And I live in Devon at the moment. Here's Jamie Vardy. Oh, he's put it wide. Should have done better. Chance there. What the hell's this? Hi Mash, thank you much for joining the stream. Happy New Year to you. How are things with you? How is Zenit getting on? I haven't actually looked for a while, so I actually have no idea. One of these days you're going to come in, but how can you not know? You ask me every week. Not even a booking. Not even a booking in this game. There's been one shot on target so far in this game. We've played nearly 50 minutes. I had 3 touches. It's been bad, hasn't it? It's been bad. Older Vardy gets the younger he plays like. Yeah, the thing is, time will catch up with him as well. Joe's Ice Cream, our bench beaches. Also, our manager has a lot of good players. Here is Almiron. Oh, looking for was that Wilson? Yeah, looking for Wilson, but cut out well by Fofana, who came from Saint Etienne, which is where William Saliba come from, who's not involved at Arsenal whatsoever, is he? Evans goes long, and that's sorted by Darlow. I'm good, thanks. We are currently 42 points to get at the top. We are currently in the winter break. When are you back from the winter break? Is it a long time or is it a short one? Obviously, it gets very cold in Russia, doesn't it? So this country's had some snow. No snow here, but where I grew up, there was snow. My sisters and family said. So February. Oh, quite a long break then. Bet you're pleased. Bet you're really pleased. Clark. Joe Linton to Sean Langstaff to Matty Longstaff. Matty Longstaff plays it back. It's never going to be exciting under Steve Bruce, is it? Never going to be exciting. Play it out wide to Yedlin. Or DeAndre Yedlin, rather. Yedlin's ball in, and it's no one there. Does Justin get a touch on that? And no, he doesn't, and it will be a free kick. Why am I always eating when the stream starts? Because I tell you why that is. Well, I don't know necessarily, but the 12:30 game I play on a Saturday. I always start at 12, which is sort of the time you'd be eating lunch, and then this one started at 2, so might be eating then. What do you have for food? What are you eating? On Wednesday, Man United versus Man City. I might do a stream for that one. Might be in the optimum word, because I might not, because I might be tired. Yeah, I might do a stream. It's just, yeah, I might do. I did quite well yesterday, and this one's gone fairly well as well, which is great. And in the future, I'd love to be able to make a load of videos and stuff, and really work on the channel, but it's hard to find the time with this and college as well. Not sure what's happening with college. No idea. No idea if I'm going back next week or not. I assume I'm not. Been good so far. Champions League campaign disappointed. I expect to finish third in that group. Who was the third team? It was Dortmund in your group? It was Dortmund and Lazio. Club Bruges. Thanks. I would expect you to finish third as well, but not to be. Corner to Newcastle. This is their first corner of the game. In it comes. Headed away by Ndidi, and Almiron with a shot way over the bar. Need to get some more gifts for the channel. I feel like they set it apart. Win the league, then successful season regardless. Exactly. That's a good way of looking at it. If you win the league, then you've done your job, and then anything else is. But at the end of the day, you're not going to win the Champions League, are you? And you're probably not going to win the Europa League. Evans. Atalanta have gone 5-0 up in their game against Sassuolo. Luis Muriel with the goal, who I think missed a penalty against England in the 2018 World Cup, but I could be wrong. Bear with me just one moment. Yeah? Alright. Sorry, Kelly's just come into the room, so I've turned the camera off. Right, there we are. Lovren could win the league. Liverpool might not. Yeah, they might not win the league. And if they didn't win the league, then who'd be laughing then? Lovren would be laughing then. Behind for a corner, but Evans is fouled, and it will be a free kick to Leicester. Do players think that the nets are halfway in the stands? Poor shooting from professional players. At the end of the day, it's still hard to score goals, isn't it? You know, like, you're one of the best in your profession at what you do. However, the goalkeepers are also the best in their profession at what they do. So it is still really, really tough. And obviously, you miss kicking and stuff. It's just natural. It's a natural part of being a football player, is not to be amazing at every single thing you do, because that, you know, is just part of being human. Your hair looks good. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I shaved my beard off as well, so now I look really young. Vardy does well. Vardy still going. Cuts it back for Maddison. Goal. Maddison with the goal. Great finish. He does a dart celebration. I suppose it's the darts are on at the moment. I'm sure Chris likes that if he's watching. Barnes brings the ball forward. He gets it out wide to Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy does better, gets the better of Fernandes, cuts it back, and then he absolutely hammers it, James Maddison, past the goalkeeper, and it's 1-0 to Leicester. Leicester 1, Newcastle 0, and if the game ended now, I would be correct. There we are. Let's go. To be fair, Lovren playing here probably his level under less pressure than the Premier League. Oh, Newcastle looking for a penalty. Castagna bringing the ball away after an interaction, we'll call it, with Wilson. We'll see how that plays out. Ali, thank you so much for tuning in. How you doing? Thank you so much for joining the stream. Your day looks good. Let's go. Leicester 1 point off the top. Yeah, that'd be really, really good for Leicester. If they can clinch this victory and win 1-0, they'll be 2 points behind the leading pack, well, 1 point behind the leading two, which would be really, really, really good. And they've still got chance of it. Now I know it's unlikely Leicester will win the league, but they've got a chance, and it would be great to see Leicester win the league again. Does well there, Castagna, actually. I think they've checked it. Yeah, he does well. He does well. Definitely no penalty. So if you are new and you haven't already commented, feel free to tell me who you support, which team you support, and why. Or if you're even a subscriber, why do you support the team you do? I support Hereford because that's the team my dad supports, and that's the first team I went to watch. Good goal by Maddison. Questionable celebration though. Yeah, it was a quite weird celebration, but obviously it means something to him. West Ham. Why do you support West Ham, Alice? Yeah, I didn't say. Coda. What? Fernandes. Looking for Almiron. Almiron knocks it on, but only Fofana will do that. Kufal. Right, I see. It's a strange reason.
It's the first event all day. No red cards, no yellow cards, no disallowed goals, no penalties, no VAR. That's the first thing that's happened in this game after 55 minutes. Maddison's goal. Thank you to everyone who's liked the video as well. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, feel free to knock it onto the like button. And also subscribe if you are new. We are currently on 4,871 subscribers. Thank you to everyone who's hit the subscribe button so far. I really do appreciate it. Here is Tielemans. Fofana. Evans. I haven't heard of Rich for a while. I hope he's okay. I'll have to message him if he doesn't come. I won't speak to him soon. Castagna. Tielemans. Maddison. When Leicester scored first in the league this season, they ain't lost or drawn 1-7, so it looks like they'll know how to keep a lead. Well, that's half the battle. If you can see the game out, and then that's you know that Brighton gets it behind for a corner. You know, if you win all your games when you take a lead, then you just need to work on not conceding. Now, that's a really, really, really good trait to have. A really, really good stat, because like I said earlier in the stream, when Hereford got promoted, they won all of their games they took the lead, bar one, which they drew, which is a massive, massive, massive achievement with coaching by Rodgers. He's done a great job. I did say that earlier. Really, really great job. Napoli 3 now with another goal. Irving Lozano with the goal, and Roma are winning 1-0 against Sampdoria. Edin Dzeko with the goal after 72 minutes. Corner kick, Maddison to take. Maddison puts the ball in. Oh, it's away. Almiron gets the better. Oh, that's a nasty tackle by Youri Tielemans. That's going to be a yellow card. Very, 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 very unnecessary. He really, really went in there. It wasn't like a nasty tackle. He didn't like have his studs up or anything. He just totally wiped him out. He knew exactly what he was doing. Verona have also gone 1 up in their game as well. Wonder how many Atalanta will score today. I'm playing FIFA 21. Who are you playing as? Got half an hour to go in this one. Offside flag is up, and it will be a free kick to Leicester City. Man U. Oh, nice. 5-1 now. Sassuolo has got one back. Vlad Kirakes with the goal, who used to play for Spurs. Evans, he's misplaced the ball, but it is actually picked up by Albrighton. Albrighton gets it out wide to James Justin, who I'm quite a big fan of, James Justin. Still going, puts the ball in, and that's out for nothing. It's kept in by Yedlin, who gets it away, but Castagna wins the ball and gives it to Maddison, who shoots wide. Who do you think will get top scorer this season? I always, to this answer, always say Harry Kane or Salah, because that's just, I just think it's just always one of them two. But I would say Salah would win the top goal scoring award, just because he's already got 13 and he'll probably continue to score. And they'll probably, I fancy him to win the league, therefore they're going to be scoring probably a lot of goals. So yeah, I'd go with him. Barnes, straight at the goalkeeper. He's good. He is really, really, really good at what he does, Salah. And when they signed him, there was a lot of people being like, oh, well, they signed him. He's played for Chelsea, didn't do very, very well. How wrong those people were. How wrong those people were. Salah is selfish, but that's the play he has. At the end of the day, if Salah is selfish, then that's probably why he scores as many goals as he does, because he's selfish. A team player doesn't score as many goals as Salah, and that's just how it is.
You don't score loads of goals if you share the ball around all the time. And it's not included in City's squad. I haven't actually seen the team lineup, so I have to have a look. Lineups. So Stefan is in goal. Mendy is in goal for Chelsea in this one. Azpilicueta, Zuma, Silva, Chilwell, Mount, Kante, Kovacic, Pulisic, Ziyech and Werner. The team for City: Stefan, Cancelo, Stones, who's having a great resurgence of his career at City at the moment. Diaz, Zinchenko is at left back. Gundogan, Rodri, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Foden and Sterling. On the bench for both sides: Abraham, Arrizabalaga, Jorginho, Billy Gilmore, Giroud, Kai Havertz, Hudson-Odoi, Emerson and Rudiger. City's bench: Aguero, Carson, Liam Delap, Harwood, Bellis, Mahrez, Mbete, Mendy and Fernandinho. Missing out are Garcia, Walker, Gabriel Jesus and Edison. Reece James is out for Chelsea. So what do you make of that information? Let me know. Alright, hi Rhea, thank you much for tuning back in. How you doing? I'm not complaining though with the goals he's got. No, definitely not. Mendy on the bench. He's only making up the numbers. He's not coming on. Salah, I think Salah is. I think every striker or of that ilk is a little bit selfish. It's just who they are. End of the day, I want a striker whose aim it is to score as many goals as possible. And if he continues to score goals, I don't care how many he misses. Hereford had a player called John Mills who was really, really selfish, but he didn't have bang him in. First season, he scored 52 in all competitions. And he didn't play on for a lot of the second half of the season. Will be a good game because Man City and Chelsea both need to win, really. It should be a good game for that exact reason. Both need to win. I think City need to win because they need to start winning their games in hand as well. But I think they need to start winning. If their aim is to win the title, which I don't think it is, as far as I can see, then they need to start winning games. Edward, thank you so much for tuning in as well. Mane is the main man at Liverpool, in my opinion. He is very, very good, isn't he? And he's come on leaps and bounds since signing from Southampton. And he's improving every season. He's doing very, very, very well. Very, very well indeed. Yedlin. Cut out very well by Castagna, who I'm a big fan of. I feel like he has been a very, very good signing. So he lost Chilwell, and he's a great replacement. They've done really well there. 25 minutes left. Fernandes to take this throw in for the Magpies. Murphy behind for a corner. I still think we need striker to push Firmino. Is that the idea of Jota? Castagna over Chilwell? No, I don't think so, but I think he's been a very, very good replacement. And the thing is with Chilwell, he's English, which really helps things. So, yeah, it helps. That's why there'd be so many people in, just because they can make up the numbers with these. Jota was there to push all front three. Yeah, and I feel like he could do that. But I suppose you want like somebody who's a more of an out-and-out striker. And no disrespect to someone like Divock Origi, but I don't think he's the person to do that. So, yeah, I can see why you'd want someone else. He would be nice, but I'm sure he'd be very, very expensive. And I'm sure that money would be better off spent elsewhere. Yedlin. Indeed, he's giving it to Murphy. Murphy tries like a shotgun cross, but ends up just out. I'm not sure what that was. Really poor. But yeah, I think he just gets it wrong. It's Klopp. He will go for cheaper. I'd imagine. I'm not sure. I think he'd fancy going to like Barcelona or particularly Real Madrid as well. So it'd be interesting to see how he thinks. If I was him, I'd probably stay where I am at the moment. But that's what I would do. I'm a Watford fan. Nice. And I heard that Liverpool might go in for Sarr.
Maddison. And Longstaff wins the ball. Here is Murphy, who gets the better of two of there. Comes out to Wilson. Wilson's going to lay it off. Is he going to lay it off to Matty Longstaff? Matty Longstaff puts the ball in. And no one there. I really like Sarr. I'm a big fan of Sarr, and I've always thought he would do well because I saw him play for Rennes against Arsenal. I thought he looked very, very good then, and I was surprised when he didn't move in the window. However, I can see why they'd be interested in him, but his time would be very limited, wouldn't it, if he moved there? Every time a player leaves Leicester to go to a bigger club like Chilwell, Liverpool, Leicester always seem to go above them. They and it's not that they sign a great replacement. They sign a great replacement, which is really, really interesting. Because if you have imagine someone like City who can always bring players in who's like as good. You know, change the game. Their scouting network is unbelievable. Because how many times have they lost someone and they've brought someone in? It doesn't always work. They had that Gazelle person who came in after Mahrez left, but you think about it. Soyuncu has been very good when he played last season after Maguire left. Indeed, he's been fine. Barnes. Shot is deflected and into the hands of Darlow. And then you have Maddison has stepped up when Mahrez left, obviously slightly different position. So they always seem to fill these places in really, really well. Castagna being another one. Here's Wilson for Newcastle. Is he fouled? No, according to the referee. Yes, according to the linesman. And it will be a free kick to Newcastle. This is Klopp attack plan. Salah, Firmino, Mane, Jota, Minamino. I think Klopp will get rid of Origi and Sakiri at some point in this window or in the summer. I think it makes sense, especially now Minamino's there. Something I've totally forgot about. But he's not going to get any playing time, is he? So he might as well get those two gone just to be able to develop him more. He obviously sees a lot of potential in him, which means that he can bring the best out of him, like he has with someone like Andy Robertson, like Trent Alexander-Arnold, even people like Henderson. He's got the best out of. So, what do you count Leicester as? A top 4 team, a top 6 team, or a top 8 team? Top 8 team. Yeah, top 8 team. Top 8 team. Because you've still got a top 6, and they're always going to be the top 6 for a while. But just on thing, I'd put them. I think on form, I'd put them above Arsenal in the top 6. I would say. Certainly over the last few years, you can't really argue with that. Particularly if the league ended now, you couldn't really disagree with that at all. Shaqiri would be a good signing for Derby. I would say he'd be aiming a little bit higher than Derby. But it would be a good signing nonetheless. But like I say, I couldn't imagine he'd be interested in Derby. Even with Wayne Rooney. My Sarr Liverpool would be good depth. Yeah, definitely. Corner comes in looking for Evans, and it's away by Yedlin. They're looking for handball there. Interesting to see what the ref thinks. The VAR. And it's out for a goal kick. Takeover might tempt him though. I don't think so. Even with a takeover, I don't think he'd want to be playing in the league. The championship. No, it's not. I don't think that's handball. But he is a very good player, Sarr. But I'm not sure he'd want to be, 5th choice potentially. Shaqiri will go abroad. Yeah, I would say so. Something like West Ham might want him or someone, but none of the top 6. Tielemans! 2-0. Old Brighton cuts it back. Tielemans from outside the area. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant finish. And Leicester are going to go into 3rd place. 2-0 against Newcastle United. And I feel like Steve Bruce is going to be the talk of the city tonight because
He's not very well liked, and I are 2-0 down at home to Leicester. Great finish by Tielemans. Great finish by Tielemans. Great finish. Great finish. Leicester are going to go 1 point behind Liverpool. Yes. And 1 point behind joint top places, which is Liverpool and Manchester United, obviously. Behind the joint leaders. So yeah. I'm sure if some of you will know what I'm talking about. Matty Longstaff. He goes long looking for Wilson, but it's into the hands of Kasper Schmeichel. Great finish by T. It was a nice finish, wasn't it? Parma 0, Torino 2, and Napoli have won 4-1 in their game in Serie A. Leicester seem to score a lot of goals from outside the box. Yeah, I think the Maddison one was just inside the box, but certainly that was outside the box. A really nice finish from Tielemans. Do you mean the joint? I think you mean the joint leaders. But yeah, 1 point behind the joint leaders, Manchester United, and 1 point behind the joint leaders, Liverpool. Doing really well, Leicester. Really well. But if there's no break, they'll be able to not have to continue that form for such a long period of time and not have that break, which I think really affected them. Hi all. Thanks so much for tuning in, Nick. I am well late. That's okay. Still got another 15 minutes. Yeah, I feel like Zach Stefan has got a good job in his hands, but if he plays really well, it'd be interesting to see what he does. But for me, I feel like he will keep Maddison in. I don't mind security Zenit. That would be a very, very good move for him. Very good move for him. Yedlin is really in pain. Interesting to see what happened there. Throw in to Newcastle. Yeah, Zenit would be a really good destination for him. Yeah, I think he would want to go to Europe. Do you class... Weird question, but I always class Russia as a European country. But my girlfriend says it's in Asia, mostly in Asia, so it should be an Asian country. What do you think? Do you agree with me, or do you agree with her? Or do you not agree with any of us? Just because I always think Russia, it's in Europe, they play in the Champions League, in the Euros, so European. But I always thought of it as Europe. Yes, me too, Alex. Me too. I know it's obviously spanning across both. There's no doubt about it. The Euros is west of Euros is Europe. East of Euros is technically half Asia, Europe, but according to some, but it's Europe in my opinion. Yes, that's what I want to hear. It's in Europe. Look, no one agrees with her. No one agrees with her. They all agree with me. It's a great day for me. Maddison, Vardy's through. Oh, get the bar. He is offside. Yeah, it probably is because Moscow's in. It is in Europe. That's like quite near to Europe, isn't it? I know it's technically in both, but I class it as a European country. I bet she's not even watching, and now she'll be like, what? But if she is watching, she knows that I asked someone who is Russian, and they have told me that I was right. China is just outside of Russia. That's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy that Russia's really close to, it's like as close to like somewhere like Sweden as and like Finland as it is close to China and like Korea and stuff. So off Kane. Hi random my guy, thanks for tuning in. How you doing? 13 minutes to go in this one. Murphy. Well done. Cut out by Fofana there. But yeah, I class it as Europe. Don't rule Russia out in the Euro 21. Making a run in. Making a run? Interesting. What makes you so sure? Another one should we argue about is Turkey. About being in Europe or Asia. That's a question for another day. I said 2-0, so I might be right. Yes, you might well be. I went 1-0, but I can't imagine Newcastle will get back into it, so I think we'll both be right with the correct result. It looks like Andy Carroll will be coming on. What a surprise, what a delight for everybody here. And it will be Yedlin coming off. I said 2-0, so I might be right. Look at your map of Russia. It almost touches the USA. It does technically, doesn't it? Because of Alaska, doesn't it? Not sure. We seem to be underestimated at tournaments. Yeah, I can understand. I can understand that. You are underestimated just because there's no real like big stars in your side. And Maddison is coming off, and Soyuncu is coming on. Andy Carroll just come on the pitch with a chocolate bar. I didn't actually look because I was messaging. I think we can shock people like we did at the World Cup. I guess you had home advantage in the World Cup, didn't you? I don't know what they're going to do though, because they're surely not going to have it across all the nations. But you know, if a certain nation who's COVID free by a certain time because they've had the old putting the vaccine in everyone's arms, maybe they could host it. They've got to have it this summer, haven't they? There's no way that, unless they cancel it, they've got to have it this summer. Because they can't have it next year. They can't have, and then 2023. Is it really relevant then? James Justin commits a foul on Sean Longstaff. 10 minutes to go. But hopefully for you. Let's have a look. I'll just have a look at your groups. Russia, Belgium, Denmark, Finland. I could see you not qualifying because Belgium will probably go up, and also Denmark are quite a good side as well. Have to have it in one nation, surely. That would be the general consensus. There's no this crazy thing where they're all over everywhere can work. Siberia is bigger than India. That's crazy. Yeah, it is. But a lot of Russia isn't like, it's just snow in it, and it's not like used. It's uninhabited rather. So it's going to be, looks like Matt Ritchie and Sean Longstaff stood over it. And it comes. Headed away, only as far as Andy Carroll, who puts it in the back of the net. Brilliant finish on the volley, and it's 2-1. And suddenly we have a game on our hands. The ball comes in, it's headed away by Castagno, and he hits it on the volley into the bottom corner. There's loads of people calling for something. I'm not sure what it is. Ah, shares in the way. Shares in the way. That might be a cause for concern. But lovely finish. What a sub from Bruce. He's not offside. No, he's not offside. But he's not. So that's fine. It's not fine. What a sub. If it's cross nations, then it could cause chaos, especially positive tests. Yeah, they should do it in a bubble somewhere, like they did the Champions League. Yeah, it did work. Atletico Madrid have gone 1-0 up in their game. Marcos Llorente with the goal, and Borussia Dortmund are 1-0 up against Wolfsburg. Carroll's shot, and that's going to be out for a corner. Carroll's coming on. He's like a super sub. I think the energy bar or whatever has worked. It certainly has. I want to say like this. Predictions would be right. Yeah, I'm hoping that Leicester get the victory, to be fair. Carroll on the madness. He's playing like he's the UK's answer to Ronaldo, isn't he? I don't think anyone has ever said that about Andy Carroll. Yeah, he is. He's playing brilliant. I'm starting to think he might get a call up. He's on the plane. And he comes looking for Carroll again. Oh, Shelby. And it will be brought away here. Oh, they win it back, Newcastle. Sean Longstaff. Throw in to Leicester. So Leicester are on the ropes here. Tyrell, I think, much tune in. We can banter Carroll, Crouch, etc. coming on, but they're useful. They have a role in society when it comes to football, don't they? They have a role. But I'm not sure how useful they really are. End of the day, if you're a good side, you ain't bringing on Carroll. You're bringing on Carroll. You don't start with Carroll. It's the last hope. It's just the old put a ball in. That's what it comes to. What's he given here? Free kick to Newcastle. I think it was a handball by Brighton. 6 minutes to go. It's still could. Newcastle could still nick a draw. What the hell was that? He was like, had the ball on his head and he was just like moving his head. Why didn't he get up? Just checked predictions and I said 2-1 Leicester. Nice. Opinions on when Wilson went down earlier. I thought Castagna got the ball. I thought he got the ball. I didn't think it was a penalty. What did you think? It wasn't a penalty for me. I thought it was a penalty on first look though. But once the replay was shown, obviously closer. I'm so upset. What's the matter, Ollie? I might be biased, but obvious pen, and I don't know why they didn't check it. They would have checked it. They just didn't think there was anything in it. They would have checked it. The check was complete, they said. So they did check it. They check everything. They just didn't think there was anything in it. I didn't think there was anything in it. But obviously, I only had a quick look at it, and you probably analysed it a little bit more than I did. My dog is hurt, and we have to take him to the vet. Well, I'm sure it's nothing, and hopefully whatever it is, they can sort out really quickly. Vets are obviously really well trained and really in the height of their expertise, if you know what I mean, when it comes to veterinary surgery. So really, really in the best place. And I hope they're okay. And hopefully you can update me whenever there's news. I've got a United score right too. Well done. Doing well, aren't you? Bayern Munich are playing later. They are playing Mainz at 5 PM. Barcelona are playing later as well. Even though I shouldn't have done. Oh! Wilson, he should have scored! Carroll set him up! But the flag was up. Should have done better there. Obviously, we'll see if it's offside. They get it out wide. Carroll puts the ball over. He is offside. He is standing in an offside position, so it would have been offside. Over the box like Pogba. I saw that. That was very bizarre, wasn't it? Still should have scored. Yeah, well, exactly. If you put the ball in the net, that's half the battle, isn't it? You know, you've done your bit, and then it's just whether you're offside or not. So I totally understand what you mean. That this could have been 2-2. They've had chances, Newcastle. Albrighton wins the ball. Jamie Vardy. Barnes, it could be it. Oh, brilliant save off the head of Darlow. It's been a good second end of the half, to be fair. It's been a much better second half than it was first half. Always believe in Darlow. Why did he not hit it with his left foot? Strange. Maybe he feels a bit better on his right foot. I remember seeing Harvey Barnes when he was at West Brom. Obviously on the telly, I never actually witnessed him play for West Brom, but I thought, bloody hell, he's a good player, and he's did really well. And he's not surprised to see him playing week in, week out in the Premier League. Tielemans is ball in, headed away by big old Andy Carroll. Puts the ball in by back to Ciencio. Matty Longstaff gets away, or Brighton puts it back into the mixer. Away from by Carroll. I'd love a draw. It'd be a great point after going 2-0 down. 88 minutes on the clock. Murphy is bringing the ball forward. Goes long, looking for Wilson. Evans is going to deal with this. Evans does very, very well. He's a Northern Irish answer to Beckenbauer. Coyote, Alexander Patrick are the best front three in the EFL. Score a lot of goals, haven't they? Particularly Omari Patrick. He seems quite good. Especially after a 0-0 with Liverpool. Great point. I was delighted for Newcastle. John Joe Shelvey. Ball comes back out to Fernandez. Fernandez puts the ball in. Finds Wilson. Wilson looking for Longstaff, but Ciencio is in the way. Shelvey heads up in the air. Away by Barnes. Or Brighton, rather. Ritchie. Score more goals than the combined in the United front three. Who was that player who was playing? Is it Paul Mullin who was at Cambridge? He scored a ruck of goals at the start of the season. Makes you wonder how many he's got now. 17 he's got so far this season. Absolutely bonkers amount of goals. Nearest is 14, Danny Johnson. Throw in to Newcastle, and it will be Murphy, Jacob Murphy. Rate Andy Carroll. Do I rate Andy Carroll? You rate Andy Carroll, or do you want me to rate him out of 10? Yeah, he's got rate Andy Carroll out of 10. I don't think he's Premier League material. I don't. He's good at this. He's good at like defending and stuff. If you were looking for someone to head the ball away for the last 5 minutes of the game, then yeah, bring on Andy Carroll. But if you were looking for someone to score a goal, I probably wouldn't go to Andy Carroll, despite him scoring a goal and also nearly setting up Wilson for an equaliser. What if Bruno counted in that front three? Who are you replacing? I assume it would be Greenwood. Colo at home to Leighton Orient next to, so have to keep him quiet. Yes, definitely. 4 minutes to equalise. Yeah, 4 added minutes. We're almost into the second minute. He'd be good for Big Sam. Big Sam's had him before, hasn't he? If I'm not mistaken. They need goals. They need goals desperately. They desperately need goals, and I don't think Carroll would be the answer to their goal scoring problems. So yeah, not for me. If you haven't already and you are enjoying the video, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe, of course, if you are new as well. We are into the second minute. Aaron Hayden will hopefully pocket Danny Johnson. Hopefully, dude. Dwight Gale. Dwight Gale, now, he's obviously a really, really weird case because he scores a ruck of goals. He scores base goals. If the Championship was the best league in the world, he would be the best player in the world. There's no doubt about it. But unfortunately for him, he doesn't seem to cut it in the Premier League for whatever reason. Which is weird because he scores so many goals in the Championship. If I was going to in the Championship, I would sign Dwight Gale straight away on loan. So I wouldn't want to have him before then. Here's Brighton. Could they snatch it here? Here's Vardy. Not going towards goal, going away from goal, if anything. But unfortunately, he just isn't the he's not gonna. I don't know if he'd keep him up, but obviously Sam probably knows who he wants. Castagna cuts it back to Barnes and puts it wide. That would have very much been that. Who do you support? Can't tell from your accent. I support a team called Hereford, and if you haven't heard of them, you should look up Newcastle in the 1972 FA Cup, because Hereford beat them. But yeah, I support Hereford. I don't really have an accent because Shropshire's in like the middle of nowhere. So yeah, I support Hereford. But my favourite Premier League team is Manchester City. But yeah, Hereford is a team I support. But I live in Devon currently. Where's Hereford? It's very close to Wales. West. It's in the west. West. If you look on a map, it's like you know where Cardiff is. It's probably like about here, just inside the English border and a little bit higher up. It's Hereford. I'm dreaming here of Carlisle promotion to Championship. I was signed Cahill on loan straight away. Exactly, but nobody wanted permanent unless they were gonna know they were going to be stuck in there. But I suppose he's got value though, hasn't he? You'd sell him for what you brought him for because he'd do the same job for everybody else. Here's James Justin. 30 seconds to go. He's just going to see this game out. He's not thinking of any points, and it's a foul by Shah. Silly thing to do, and that'll probably be that. James Justin is on the floor now. We've lost. It certainly does look that way. 10 seconds to go. They just need to make sure Andy Carroll doesn't hit it from about 70 yards out and score. Remember Chappy Alonso scoring from about God knows how far out against Luton. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. And they're just playing the ball about in the corner. And that is going to be that, I'm afraid. Full time, unfortunately, Tyrella. You've lost the game. It is finished. Newcastle United 1, Leicester City 2. So we'll have a look at the games, how it went. Maddison opened scoring after 55 minutes. Lovely, lovely team goal. Barnes giving it to Vardy, who set up Maddison to hammer the ball home. Tielemans picked up a yellow card, which wasn't a nice tackle at all. They tried to change it, Newcastle. They tried to change it. They brought on Jacob Murphy and they brought on John Joe as well. But it was Tielemans smashing the ball from just outside the area to make it 2-0. And I thought that was game over. Big Andy Carroll came on. Soyuncu came on as Leicester tried to close up. Justin got booked. And then Andy Carroll on the volley in the inside the penalty area made it 2-1, and then Carroll almost set up Wilson, which had probably been offside. And that is how it remained, 2-1. So just because of that result, Leicester have now gone up to third place, 1 point behind leaders Liverpool, and second place Manchester United. Newcastle will stay in 15th, 8 points ahead of Fulham, who are the nearest team in the relegation zone. Thanks so much for everyone who tuned in. I really, really do appreciate it. Thanks so much for tuning in, all new people as well. If you haven't already, feel free to hit the subscribe button as well. I really, really do appreciate you all tuning in. I really do. Kid Jane, thanks for tuning in. Alex, thank you much for tuning in. Chris, thank you much for tuning in. Tyrell, thank you much for tuning in. Chris, thank you much for tuning in. Stephen Blizz, thank you much for tuning in. Everyone else who tuned in as well. We do appreciate it. Ollie, I hope the dog's better soon. Thanks so much for everyone who tuned in. I really, really do appreciate it. My name is Mike, and I will see you soon.